Hi, my name is Girish Patil. The name of our company, Gnostice, may be more familiar to Delphi developers around the world, and I'm happy for it to be that way. For the benefit of the people who are new to the Delphi world or are unfamiliar with our company, let me tell you what we do. At Gnostice, we create software components and libraries for software developers. Software developers such as you all. Our software components enable software developers to harness the world of electronic documents and PDF documents through their applications. Some of the broad functions our components enable you to embed into your applications are the creation of electronic documents in various formats, conversion of documents from one format to another, exporting reports from reporting tools to various electronic formats, printing to PDF and other formats, and converting virtually any document format to PDF and several other formats. These are one set of functions our components enable you to do. The other set of functions our components enable are to do with pre-existing PDF documents. These are the transformation of plain PDF documents that were created from reporting tools or other tools to rich interactive PDF documents, extraction of content from PDF documents, searching and modification of PDF documents, working with PDF forms, viewing, printing, and so on. In the last presentation, we saw more of the first set of scenarios that was to do with the creation of electronic documents and PDFs. Today, we'll go deeper into the process of working with pre-existing PDF documents and transforming them. To do this, we have picked 5 real-world user needs that our customers have queried us on. We'll take those needs and see how to solve them using Gnostice PDF tools. Here's our agenda for the next hour or so, where for the first 45 minutes, we'll take a look at the product demonstration, and then we'll open out for live Q&A. Before we get started with the product demonstration, however, we'll get to know better the user needs that we are going to solve and where they can be applied. Let's take a look at the user needs we are going to address in this demo. To understand them better, we'll open the PDF document we will be using in each case and see what's to be done. So for the first scenario, to transform keywords in PDF documents to interactive elements, we'll be using this file, the keywords input.pdf file. The questions we need to ask here are these. How can we make it easier, save time and effort for the user of this document to go through the document and get more out of it? Wouldn't it be a richer experience if some of these keywords, such as these, would be interactive elements? Well, we're going to be learning just that, how to turn some of these keywords to interactive elements. Just to note, this document was created using eDoc engine, and although the interactive elements could have been added when the document was initially created, it was not done. As what we want to see here is how to perform these operations on pre-existing PDF documents. And this document contains some nice keywords, and we're just using it as our sample. The second need is to split a PDF document, not just by providing a page range, but based on the structure. And for this, we'll be using an old Delphi manual. We'll split each of the chapters in this document into separate documents. Then we will look at applying stamps and watermarks and inserting text based on dynamic inputs such as page numbers, time, date, and so on this document. In the fourth case, we'll take a plain form template created in Word and convert it to an interactive electronic form by visually placing form elements. And for the last case, we'll take two sample PDF documents and get the differences between them. Here are some examples of where we may apply the techniques we will be learning. As in the first case, most reporting tools or general PDF converters, printers, generate plain PDF documents. It does not matter now. You can transform them through your applications. If your company develops document management or document workflow solutions, all of these techniques will come in handy there too. Likewise, if you develop specialized or generic reporting tools, as you would imagine, there are hundreds more cases where you would apply these techniques. These are just some of them. Here's the general flow plan for the product demonstration. As we have covered point 1 of understanding the user need, we'll briefly touch upon it and move on to knowing how it's done. Note, all of these demos will be in the Delphi Win32 environment. And you can get some of the demo source code at the Gnostice website. The path to that would be www.gnostice.com/coderage.asp. Let's get down to the demos now. So in the first scenario, the Gnostice product we'll be using is PDF Toolkit, and we're going to operate on this file and turn some of these keywords into clickable links and attach legends to some of these links. So let me go into Delphi and show you the application. As you may make out, this has turned into a generic application to which you can supply your own inputs and have the application work on those inputs. So let's come back here once we see the demo. Now I'll switch to the running application right here and make sure the input file that we want is supplied. And I will also give an output file which will go into this folder. And let me just change the output file name. Now what I want to do is make the Gnostice keyword a link. So I will say make it a link and supply what the link should be and add it to the list. And then I want to transform some of these keywords and attach legends to them. So I will select PDF, say legend, and put in the legend as portable document format. I hope I spelled that right. No, I didn't. And then I will choose another keyword, which is RTF, and I will say rich text format. Add that and run this program. So we have this dialog popped up by PDF Toolkit, which we can switch off, of course. And there you go. So as you can see, the Gnostice keyword in our original document, it's not a link, and in our output document, it is a link now. So I can click and go to that link. And if you see, there's another Gnostice here, so that's also turned into a link. And these keywords So there's a legend to it now attached. Before we get into the details of the code for transforming keywords, let's get some fundamentals on using PDF Toolkit. So here's the PDF Toolkit page. You would need a PDF document component, which I have placed here. Normally, you would set the file name, but in this case, we have done that through code. So let's go into that code. So continuing with the PDF Toolkit fundamentals, this is the first step, which is loading the PDF document. So you can load it from file or from stream, and then you would do your process. And finally, we would save the document again to file or stream. So input, process, and output. Now let's look at the code for transforming keywords. We need some additional objects from the PDF Toolkit library for this case. Those objects are the link annotation for the link and the line annotation for the legend, and also a place to hold the keywords because we'll need to perform a search before we attach those links and legends. So here's what we do. We create the objects, and then we call the search all method of PDF document to get all the results for our selected keyword. And then we create the link objects and set a few properties. And finally, we insert the annotation. So in the case when it's a link annotation gets added, and in the case when we want a legend, the line annotation gets inserted. And finally, we come out, free our objects, and save the file. Let's move to our second scenario now of splitting a PDF document based on its structure. Again, the product we'll be using here is PDF Toolkit. And let me switch to the demo, go to the split document page, and supply the input, which is quick start, output, which is, well, the base file name will be quick start, and the file names that will come out will be based on the chapters, the chapter titles. So let's run it. It's processing, loading up the PDF document, then going through the bookmarks, and finally it's done it. This time I haven't opened the documents automatically because there are going to be a few of them. So let's go to the output files folder and have a look. So there you are. We have the chapter 1 starting where chapter 1 starts, chapter 2 as you would expect, all of them finally, and let's just take a look at the original document to confirm. So that's where chapter 1 started, chapter 2 and 3 and 4 there, and index. Before we see the code for this, let's run another variation of the split demo, which is split when blank page encountered. So let's leave the inputs as they are and run it and see what happens. Again, it's loading up, processing, checking if a page is blank, and then breaking at that page. So it's done it. Now let's go see the output files. So there you see the page numbers, or the page names rather, have been based on the page numbers where the blank page occurs. And if we open the original PDF document, we'll see that there are blank pages at certain places, and that's how the document has been split. Let's look at the code for splitting a PDF document using PDF Toolkit, starting with splitting based on bookmarks. So we'll find that code. As you can see here, we need a PDF outline object, which is part of PDF Toolkit, to get to the bookmark tree. Then we traverse through the bookmarks, and using the bookmark object, we get the page number at which the page we want to split at starts, which is basically the page the bookmark is pointing to. And we use the extract pages to method to extract those set of pages into a new file. And we construct the start and end of the page range using, again, the bookmark. The bookmark that we want to start the new document at, and the page before the next bookmark. Now let's see how the splitting at a blank page was achieved. So here I would like to point out that a bit of ingenuity was applied, as if we ask the question, what's a blank page? Basically, a blank page is one that does not contain any elements. So we didn't have any specific method to find out if there was a blank page, but we did have methods to find out or get all the elements on a page. So all we need to do is call that same method and find out if it didn't return any elements, if the count was 0, and then that could be considered a blank page. And that's how we achieved that. So we simply look through the document, find out which is a blank page, and then get the page number of that and construct the page range and supply it to the extract pages to method. Let's move on to our third scenario now of applying stamps, inserting additional content to PDF documents. Again, we'll be using Gnostice PDF Toolkit to achieve this. Let's switch to the demo. I've supplied the input and the output files. What we want to do is insert a page number on every page of the document. So I've selected the page X of Y option. Let me run it. Say OK. And the document we supplied was the stamp input, which does not have a page number at the bottom right of the page. Stamp output has a page number, as you can see. Let's run another demo. This time, let's insert a watermark across the center of the page. And I have some predefined values here. We can, of course, type our own, but I will just select one right now. Let's say this is top priority, and let me run it. And there you go. So we have the watermark printed across the page on every page of the document. What PDF Toolkit also supports when it comes to inserting text into a PDF document is HTML formatting. Let's see a sample of the HTML formatted text out as well. So I've selected the option. Let me just run it. And there you can see the inline HTML formatting working for you. Now let's take a look at the code for this. So let's first see the dynamic auto text. The main function of PDF Toolkit that we make use of here is the text out method, and we use some standard values that PDF Toolkit provides to insert the text x of y sequence, and those are nothing but these constants. And to determine the position of the page number, we get the page size and move from the right bottom of the page up 5.5 inches rather, and to the left 1.5 inches. Let's take a look at the code for the watermark. Here we need to create a text watermark object. Simply set its properties and select the position, for which there are some standard enumerations. We set the angle of the text and insert the watermark object. Finally, we save the document. We have reached our fourth scenario now, where we'll be looking at transforming a non-interactive form to an interactive, electronically fillable PDF document. And the input we'll be supplying for this case is a Word document, which is a sample form template. And to understand this process better, we'll first run through this using the Print2eDoc application, and then we will come back and see it through the SDK. I have the form template loaded into Word, so I will simply choose the print option of Gnostice Print2eDoc, which should bring up the save file dialog. I will simply leave it at the defaults and say save. It will bring up the properties dialog, where I can set a whole lot of properties, but right now I'm not going to change anything. I will simply say OK, and then we get the previewer or designer, which is where we will be inserting our form fields. So I will simply pick the form field and place it in the appropriate positions on the form. I've placed two form fields. Now I want to place a note, and I will change the icon of the note to note, and I will say, hey, this document is now an e-form. And I will finally apply and save it. Here's the PDF form that was just created, and as you can see, the edit boxes are the form fields that we placed in the previewer of Print2eDoc now appear in the PDF form, and also the note. Now we will convert the same Word form template to a PDF form programmatically. So let's just run it. There's nothing much to do here. The document will open automatically. It will get converted. The previewer will pop up. So we need to insert our form fields here the same way as we did through the application. And this time I won't add the note because we've seen that already. Let me just save it. And there you have the PDF form. Let's take a look at the code for that. As I said earlier, we used print to edoc for this particular scenario, and print to edoc also provides an SDK that helps you control it programmatically. So as you can see here, we simply set our properties on the print to edoc object, which we placed on our form right here. All we need to do is, in this case, we have supplied our input and output files through properties, so we don't need those dialogues. So we simply turn them off, but we want the preview to be shown, so we turn that on, and finally we fire the conversion process. Let's move into our last scenario now, which is about a PDF difference tool. This was actually a custom development requirement from one of our customers, where they wanted an application to compare PDF documents. And what I would like to point out here is the way we approach this particular request. We implemented into PDF Toolkit some generic features that other PDF Toolkit users could use, and made use of the same features to implement the difference tool. Let's take a quick look at the features of PDF Toolkit that make the difference tool possible. First of all, we make use of the viewer component and make use of the mouse events to detect selection activities on the viewer. And then we use the render text method of the PDF document component. This will enable us to perform custom draw, which is inspect the text that is being rendered onto the viewer and change its properties if we need to. And also, as you can see, this is a separate application that we built for our customer. Let's run a quick test on this application and see how it goes. I have the PDF diff tool running already, and also have loaded two sample documents. One is the master and one is the sample, and both contain a few differences. Let's hit the compare button and see what it brings up. So as you can see, the items that have been deleted from the master document are marked in red in the master document pane, and the items that have been added into the sample document are marked in blue, and those settings are actually set up here. So you can set up how the deleted item should be denoted, the inserted item, and if the font has changed but the text hasn't changed, or the content hasn't changed, that also can be discovered. That brings us to the end of the product demonstrations. Let's now refresh our memories of what we just saw. The Gnostice products that we got to see were PDF Toolkit VCL and the print to edoc application and the SDK. And in achieving the scenarios, we actually got to see several of the features of the product. And in the case of transforming keywords, we got to see how we can extract text and text properties from a PDF document, and work with measurement units, search text, insert annotations, and other types of annotations as well. Then in the split document demo, we got to see how to get to the bookmark and traverse through them and get the bookmark properties and use them to extract our pages, and also how to detect if there is a blank page at a particular position. In the stamp document demo, we saw how to insert text, and also to use the auto text variables and the HTML formatting text out syntax. And in transforming forms to electronic forms, we saw how to control the PDF document creation process through the SDK by setting properties and providing the input and output file names. And finally, in the interactive viewer demo, we just got a glimpse into what's possible using PDF Toolkit and the PDF viewer components. Here's information on how to get more information about the Gnostice products. Please access our website www.Gnostice.com and go to the relevant product pages to get hold of the free trial downloads and also the feature list. As for the roadmap for PDF Toolkit and eDoc Engine, PDF Toolkit, we're working on the next release, the next major release, which is going to be released in Q1 of 2008. As for Print to eDoc, we have several releases planned through the next 6 months. And pricing, PDF Toolkit Professional Edition is priced at $349 US, and the Pro Plus Edition is at $499 US. The Pro Plus Edition is the one that includes the viewer and printer components. And I would like to point out that the Print to eDoc SDK comes with a royalty-free deployment license for the Print to eDoc application, which includes the printer driver that installs onto the target system. Both these products that we just saw and a lot more are also available in the annual subscription, which might be a better option if you're looking at multiple products. Here's a quick look at the other developer tools from Gnostice. eDoc Engine VCL is for creation of electronic documents, including PDFs, and the ActiveX version of that. There's PDF1.net, the all-in-one PDF library for .NET, and PDF1 Java for Java. I hope you'll look us up when you have any needs to do with PDF documents, electronic document creation, processing, or conversion. That brings us to the end of this presentation. Thank you all for tuning in. And here's a special offer, special promo from Gnostice. Valid through to December 10th, we are offering a 30% discount on all our developer tools. Please note the promotion code, which is SPLCR0720S1. Please enter this code into the order form to get the discount. Thank you again, and I'm ready to take questions now.